Hello, everyone. Hello, it's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean. And I'm coming to you live today with a Thanksgiving HIIT edition. So go ahead, grab some weights, a variety of weights, whatever is like a bit of a challenge to you. Let me make sure everything's streaming okay. Um, we've been having some challenges, and then we're going to get right into it. Starting with a warm up. Looks good for now. All right, so as per usual, let's just start with like a little bit of a march or a walk where we are pretending that we are enjoying Thanksgiving with the family today. So right now, for this little bit of a warm up, we're just walking to Thanksgiving, and lift your chest up. We're excited. Yay! Time to hang out. Maybe you're going to Friendsgiving. Maybe you're hanging out solo for the day and taking just some time to relax. Maybe you're meeting up with a lot of people. Whatever you're doing, I hope that you feel good about it. And if not, I hope that you'll take some extra time on Thursday to find a little bit more movement. Okay, let's go ahead and just swing our arms a little across each other like, whew. We are impatiently waiting for everything to get started, like maybe a little tap of one toe forward and then the other. Where is everyone? And then a little wave. Just wave, shaking your hand, shaking your wrist out, and then opposite hands. Just give it a little wave to everyone. Oh, good. So glad. No, please stay away. Thank you. Thank you. Just waving hello. We'll go one more time. We'll waving those arms on each side. So good. And then plant both feet down on the floor. Inhale your arms all the way up overhead. Look up like, Festivus. And then exhale, relax your arms down by your side. One more time. Bend your knees as much as you want. Bring weight to your heels. Squeeze your glutes. Drive your hips forward. Inhale, arms up, shoulders away from your ears though. Look up, still pressing hips forward, still weight in your heels. And then chin to your chest. Exhale, relax your arms down by your side. All right, let's get into move number one. So I know the holidays can feel really overwhelming, but there's always time to move, even if you're the one who's stuck in the kitchen doing the work. So move number one is going to be reminiscent of whoever has to spend a lot of the time in the kitchen to cook. You're going to reach up and grab something from a shelf, and then you're going to touch down towards the floor. So you can do this with no weights in your hands, maybe going pretty fast, just tapping down and reaching up. Or you can bring some weights to your hands. I'm going to take the little cardio aspect of things and just move quickly. So make sure your low belly stays drawn in so your back feels good. We got 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. I'll give you some opportunities even without weights to make this more challenging. But let's start off just reaching up and down in 3, 2, 1. Okay. So maybe you're just reaching up, belly in, and then down, and then driving through your heels and reaching up and down. Or you're making this happen as quickly as you possibly can. Let's just stick with just this move for this first round. Think about also your inner thighs take a break, a gentle squeeze in towards each other so that as you go down, your legs aren't flaring out. You're not rolling to the external parts of your feet. Same thing again in 3, 2, 1. So inhale up, exhale down. If you want to make this more challenging, which I will not be doing with you, because I'm being smart for my foot, you could always add in a hop. So at the top, adding in a hop, or maybe pressing up onto the ball of the feet. Take a break. So now you got a way to make the same move a little bit more challenging, or if you're being smart for yourself and your body, you need to keep it slower, feet on the floor, round 3. And if you do need to take it significantly slower because you're being smart for yourself today, then maybe you use some weights in your hands. And with those weights, you can find that press and push. Awesome. Take a break. I'm going to do one more round fast, and then I'm going to bring some weights into the party. 3, 2, 1. So the challenge that you're bringing for yourself is going to determine your pace, and your pace might be the same or very different from mine today, and that is great. Keep stretching those glutes back as you come down. All right, I'm going to bring some weights into my hands. I'm still going to basically find the same movement, but I'm going to go significantly slower. Ready? Begin. So still finding that squat, press. You can even go right from your squat into your press by driving through your heels to help you to get that weight up overhead. Or you can separate the move out. Take a break. Oop. All right, so what are we imaginary baking today? What's your favorite dish for Thanksgiving? Go again. I feel like I'm upset if there's not stuffing and spinach at the table. I have just received the massive list of things one of my dear friends is providing for Thanksgiving, and neither stuffing nor spinach. Take a break. We're on the menu, so I will be making those after work today. 3, 2, 1, begin. And I'm working all week except for Thursday. So I'm going to be moving fast later. And if you are also working all week, perhaps you might relate. We're moving quickly in our imaginary kitchen right here. Take a break. I think we got one more time through, and then we're moving on to a whole new exercise. 3, 2, 1, go for it. Each time I squat down, I'm really thinking about weight in the heels, glutes going back, feeling the engagement in the glutes by actually focus on the back and not just letting weight come forward. We made it. We made it. Woo, woo, woo. All right, let me see what move number 2 is, because I don't remember. And I left my list in the other room. All right, shake it off. Grab a quick sip of water. We're going to come down onto the floor and we're going to stay on the floor. So allow me to adjust this camera stand. And pardon me for adjusting while filming. Okay, next round, we're coming back to our 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. We'll only have 4 rounds. It's the same amount of work time and rest time, but a significantly longer period of both. We're thinking about the idea of saying, I've had enough. Thank you. Maybe pushing people away when you don't want to go in for the hug, which we're going to deal with later, or pressing yourself away from the table and all of the temptations, because they will be there. All right. So move number 1, 40 seconds, any version of a push-up that you would like to do. I'm going to stick with this table tap push-up. We start in 3, 2, 1. So even from this tabletop push-up, shoulders pulled away from your ears, a little external rotation. Everything's lowering down at the same time. So we're not letting the low belly sag down towards the floor and then bringing the rest of the body. We are like a drinking bird that, like, wherever point you have on the floor, everything hinges from there. I actually think I can bring a little bit more challenge here. Ooh, we got 10 seconds left. So come back to that good form each time you come back up towards the top. Even if you take a couple extra pauses, that's okay. Find your full range of motion and we get a break. All right. So you can stay kneeling down on the floor. You can come up onto your knees. We've got a paloff press. So let's actually squeeze the weight from the heads of the dumbbell, shoulders away from your ears. You're going to find a big press forward and then bring it right back in. Begin. So chin neutral to your chest. Exhale on your way out. Inhale as everything comes back in. And as those elbows come back in, you know what? If you want to work an upper back more and bring them in wide, you totally can. Or you can allow those arms to come down by your side. Just make an intentional choice and think about what's happening at the center line of your body, like at your ribs. So you're really pulling in from the center line, pulling in and up to stay engaged right here. Nice. Back to our push-up. I like those elbows wide. It felt a little bit more like the feeling of a skull crusher, not a skull crusher. Yeah, we'll get back to that. All right, our push-ups start again in 3, 2, 1. Begin. And you can be getting any kind of push-up that you want here, whether you're getting that tricep focused push-up with your elbows pointing down low, or if you want something a little bit more shoulder focused with your elbows going out wide. So we have the low and wide option on both ways that we can push ourselves away from the table or from the company who is coming our way. You can think of yourself as like closing the door with both hands right now, like, whoo, they're gone. Awesome. This is the last push-up here. And then back to your knees or kneeling for that paloff press again. This time I'm going to hold on to the stem of the weight, shoulders away from ears, bellies in, still that big press forward and that pull back with the elbows wide or low. Let's do it. Good. Make sure you're still breathing. I got a big squeeze of my glutes here for the hips to drive forward instead of going back behind me. So it's a nice stretch into those hip flexors also. I'm reclaiming the living room, y'all. Ironically, I've now brought you into the bedroom, but I'm reclaiming the living room. The coffee table is in space. Wow. Is in its place, and I left it there because we're coming back to the office full time starting 2024. I know. You are too. Well, maybe not full time, so it could be worse. Okay. Our next move of the day is going to be a kneeling get up. Imagining that we're playing with our family on the floor for the holidays, or maybe there's a delightful dog at the party and we're just getting down and we're spending some time with them, and then people need you or little people run away and you gotta get up. So great practice. This is functional training, getting up from the floor. If you want, you can sit all the way back down onto your heels, glutes on heels, and then press yourself up. Bring one leg forward, and that might be all that you're doing. So let's make that happen for round 1, just a little bit of a warm up. You can hold a weight at your chest if you want. I'm going to go with no weights. We're literally just simulating what's happening at Thanksgiving. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. So from kneeling, press yourself up, bring one foot forward into that 90-90, bring it right back in, sit yourself down, squeeze your glutes, press up, opposite leg steps forward. Cool. So we're using it and warming up those hip flexors a little bit here. If it's harder for you to get that leg all the way forward, maybe you lift your leg up and you tap it all the way around into place, and you can tap it, bring it back, because Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither might be your flexibility. So you're just gonna be so proud of yourself for showing up to our Thanksgiving workout and doing what you can. Take a break. All right, so you can stay right there, just working on getting your foot towards the floor, or we're going to stand up, but we're going to stay low. Let's do it together. I'm going to talk you through it. Take a couple breaths. And then let's begin. So you're pressing yourself up. That foot comes forward. Shift weight into your heel. Let's stay low in a squat. Yay! And then that same leg that came forward last. I'm keeping my toes tucked under this time though. We're going to switch it out and then come into your squat again. It's a little bit harder, a little bit more work if you bring your foot flat to the floor behind you as opposed to keeping your foot flexed. So if you point your foot down here, then the next time you stand up, you kind of need to, or you might want to, point your toe before you stand up. So I'm just giving you an option for a little, take a break, a little extra stretch on the bottom of your feet, and one less step to help yourself stand up. And we got 2 more rounds. Can you go a little bit faster than me? I encourage you to try. I'm proud of myself. Remember, I was wearing that boot for a while. Look at this dexterity in my amazing foot. Find that press, find your lift. If you want even more, maybe you go for a jump hop right here. I am not doing that, but you can do that. I want to do that. So I can always find that just gentle press up onto the balls of the feet, still working the calves, still trying to just gently strengthen the ankles. Maybe even hang out there for a moment before coming back down nice and low. Or maybe you're still just bringing one foot forward, or maybe you're bringing one foot forward, finding just that low squat. You're doing what's right for you. I'm just giving you, take a break. Options. Okay, we got one more round. One more round, and then we've got a standing move. Which means I will need to adjust the camera perhaps. I'll go from kneeling. Okay, last round in 3, 2, here we go. So finding that squat, maybe finding your hop, maybe finding that press onto the balls of the feet, working your calves, and just alternating which foot is coming forward. And moving with intention and doing your best. Woo. You got to challenge yourself to see change, to be the best version of yourself. And some days it's going to feel great, and some days it is not going to be easy, but you keep showing up because you are worth it. Let's get these last few seconds. Yay! Okay, you can stay standing for this next one. I'm going to come back down to the floor just so we don't keep adjusting the camera. Next, we are simulating some holiday hugs. Ugh. Are we back to doing those? Do we have to do those again? Okay. So you can do this from kneeling or kneeling. Sometimes being lower center of gravity can actually make it a little bit easier. First thing you're going to do, shoulders rolled down and back. Squeeze of your glutes. We're going to come up in a Y raise. So a little thumbs up, then squeeze in, open, and down. Let's stick with that Y raise here for round 1. We can change the way that we have our hands and that we're moving for these hugs or saying no thanks as we move through. 3, 2, let's do it. So arms by your side, shoulders away from your ears, belly in. Find that Y raise up to like chest shoulder height. Squeeze it in, open back out, lower down. Still with those thumbs up, and then shoulders rolled away from your ears. So each time that your arms come back down by your side, take a moment to reset. So using your breath to find your engagement. Yes, my shirt is crooked. If you are watching me and you're like, what's happening? My shirt's crooked. I think that's why they gave it to me. Yeah. Lower those arms down. All right. Now let's find a traditional just side lat raise. So we're going to bring it out towards the side and we can bring it right back down. Traditional, as I said, like the stuffing. All right. In 3, 2, 1. Shoulders away from your ears, belly in. Still that squeeze of the glute and drives the hips forward. You're using your exhale to bring your arms up to the side. And while your arms are coming up towards the side, this time, instead of them coming forward, we have them right out to the sides of the shoulders. Yes, the shoulders. So you can squeeze your shoulder blades a little bit more towards each other. Think about the pinkies coming towards the back side of the room. You're doing great. So close, almost there. That nice long break is coming up. But if you need to take an extra breath, you can. Take a break. 20 seconds of rest. Let's come back to that Y raise. One more time with that Y raise. Giving hugs, Give it some straight arm. It's great to see you. I don't want to mention any of my family, but that's pretty much how I would have felt. All right, 3, 2, here we go. I don't do Thanksgiving with family, everyone. I do Friendsgiving. I love my family. They are quite wonderful. Usually around this time of the year, I've already seen so much of them between the other holidays. We have a delightful week together in the summer. But I get one day off for Thanksgiving. Mostly I just want to do nothing. So typically I host a Friendsgiving. But this year I'm being hosted. Take a break. All right, one more time. Let's find that side lat raise. I'm going to give you an optional challenge while those arms are lifted to the side. You got 10 more seconds to just rest. So maybe shaking out those shoulders, giving your hands a break. We have one more move after this. Go ahead, press yourself back up onto your knees, shoulders away from your ears. Find that side lat raise and rotate your hands, palms. Bring them back down to the floor and lower with control. Much harder, right? You might not even be able to get that full rotation. Maybe you just turn your hands forward, turn your hands down, lower it down. Here's what really burns up there is the extra time under tension that we are creating with those arms extended by the side. And we're using so many more of those little muscles by finding that rotation and control while arms are out wide. Oh my gosh, we did it. Yay. Great. For this next last round, I recommend 2 slightly lighter weights and 1 heavier weight. We're going to go for a little passing of dishes. Pass the potatoes, as Sarah suggested. You can even be kneeling for this first one for really passing the potatoes. So you're rotating from your core. Your shoulders will twist, but it's not just twisting your shoulders. They're moving with your center line, which is pulled in and up. And you can do this when kneeling. Also, just rotating side to side, keeping your elbows by your side as you take a twist. That's going to be move number 1. Move number 2 with our lighter weights, starting at this 45-degree angle. So gently working the biceps. We'll also get rotator cuffs as we pass things to 2 different people at the same time for our last moves of the day. All right, so first up, we're passing the potatoes. So either from kneeling on your glutes or on your knees, shoulders away from your ears. Hold on to the heads of the dumbbell, elbows by your side, and let's go. Exhale, we rotate. Inhale, we bring it back in. Exhale, we rotate. Inhale, bring it back in. And really starting this rotation from your center line, not just turning and twisting the shoulders. I can turn and twist my shoulders without using the core at all. Can you keep your elbows by your side while that happens though? Not so much. So elbows, upper arms stay glued by your side. Rotate from the core. Maybe it feels like you're barely moving and your hips are staying towards the front of the room. So not everything is turning at the same time. Great. We'll try that again one more time. But first, let's just pass something side to side. So shoulders away from your ears, elbows by your side, 45-degree angles with the arm. We're going to just rotate out and then bring it right back in. Like you have serving dishes in your hands. I like my thumb on top of the dumbbell. You can do whatever feels right for you though. If it feels better for you to have your thumb underneath and all 5 fingers touching as you rotate. While your hands are going wide, try not to let your rib cage go out wide though, because your rib cage is going to want to flare as your arms go wide. So you're pulling in once again from the center line. So we're still working the core and we're working the shoulders a lot here and we're working the biceps and hopefully you're smiling. Maybe getting a little giggle, extra ab work, extra working those muscles in your face. Take a break, relax your arms down. We got one more time through of those rotations side to side. Oh yeah, it helps if I grab hold of the weight. All right, shoulders away from your ears, finding this still 45-degree angle with the arms. Chest is nice and lifted, glutes are squeezed, hips stay driving forward as you rotate side to side. Chin stays neutral to the floor, shoulder blades stay rolled down and back. You can hear, I'm sure, that I'm really using my breath to find this range of motion the best that my body can today. So we got a little bit more action happening in this week's workout into the feet than we had been. Please bear with me as we just take things a little bit slowly. Awesome. Carefully release that weight back down towards the floor. We got our rotator cuffs one last time before we will stretch it out and move on with the rest of the day. Get a little you time, which I hope you can find during the holidays as well. Shoulders rolled away from your ears, belly pulled in, extra arching out of your back, and let's do it. You might find that simply holding the weights here at a 45-degree angle is such a challenge that you're not even ready to find this rotation. Or maybe you have realized that you can also rotate one arm at a time if you need to. Keep that belly pulled in tight. Keep those rib cage knitting towards each other. Couple more seconds. Oh, we did it. Go ahead and release your weights from your hands back down to the floor. While we're on the floor, hands palms there, start to give yourself some cat-cow. Spread your fingers really wide. Get that stretching between the webbings of your fingers, and you can move as fast or as slow in your cat-cow as you want or need. I like to keep things nice and slow, taking some extra shimmies or shakes while in cat and then in cow. Awesome. Go ahead, send your glutes back towards your heels. Walk your hands all the way forward. Relax, release your head down towards the floor. You can get as great of a stretch into your shoulders as you need. Maybe your fingers stretch all the way forward to the top of the mat. And you can even tense your hands, make little cupcakes with your hands, little spiders, and your spider's feet press into the floor. Or take as generous of a bend of your elbows as you want. Maybe your hands even reach all the way back towards your heels for some true separation of your shoulders and space in your back. And while you're here, big breaths into the back side of the body. That's about all the time that we have for today. Let's get some gentle stretches as we make our way back to our feet. So if your hands stretch back towards your heels, drag your fingers forward. If you extended your arms forward, bring your hands back underneath of your chest and shoulders. Press yourself up into tabletop. Tuck your toes under and send your hips up towards the ceiling. Take a quick pedal through your heels. Low belly coming towards thighs. So really send your hips towards the back of the room and up towards the ceiling. Belly touching on your thighs even. Whoops, as your heels pedal for a nice stretch into your calves. And then hands can walk towards feet, or feet can walk towards hands as you shift weight towards your heels. As the floor starts to feel far away, grab hold of your opposite elbow. Sink your elbows down towards the floor. Relax your head and hairline down. And then draw your shoulders away from your ears. That brings your belly closer towards your thighs. Probably change the little arch of your low back too. More weight to your toes as hips drive up. Still shoulders from ears. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Weight into your heels, bend your knees as you slowly roll yourself all the way up. Head will stack over heart, will stack over hips, over heels. Shoulders roll down and back, stretch your fingers down towards the floor. Take a moment, squeeze your glutes, drive your hips forward. Chest lift. One more deep inhale in your stillness right here. Proud, chest lifted. Exhale, release, and shake it out. We did it, y'all. We did it. We made it through a Thanksgiving workout. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you on Friday, where I will be streaming a new yin class, I believe. Till then, have a wonderful rest of your week.